Since realizing that I'm autistic, I'm more of the belief that it's a two-way street. I'm like, I've been bending over backwards for the world. You give me some love, you show me a bit of respect. I've been trying my hardest to stay afloat in this world that's not designed for me. So now it's my turn. And, the more people like yourself who are speaking up for autistic people, the more likely it is that the world will accommodate us, respect us, and show us some love.
But look, you're absolutely right. In my opinion, the fact of the matter is, as autistic people, we're born out of the box to provide the world with reasonable adjustments because we're different to them. Yet for us to receive the same, there needs to be legislation. And even then, it's not always implemented. And that's a hard truth. That's a bitter pill to swallow. It's not like we're not spending our entire day and all our energy on just trying to fit in, on just trying to appease and keep neurotypical people comfortable. That really is the majority of our battery. And frankly, like you summed it up too with the just listen, just talk. That's the core of all reasonable adjustments, in my opinion, for autistic employees, which is don't be aware they're in the room, actually understand them. Don't just be aware. Someone there, he's over there. Understand them and appreciate them. I mean, I say this a lot, but if you actually understand something, you appreciate it more because you understand it. So being aware of something is kind of irrelevant. You actually have to try to get some level of understanding to appreciate it. And then next thing you know, there's staff mates sticking up for you, right? And the whole dynamic changes. And again, I don't know how hard it is for employers to hear the ding, ding, ding. It's a win-win. Better engagement, better productivity, that's a win-win. It's not, so this is a hard thing to navigate. And if this flows into, you talking about how this diagnosis and me, the same thing, kind of saved our lives. But in saying that, it doesn't mean that we didn't go through dark times or hard times, post-realization, post-diagnosis. I mean, this alone, the employment phase alone is something that you have to navigate. So how have you found it was it all just happy for you, or did you have dark times still after the realization? How did you feel? I always say it's a bit like grief, right? Did you go through stages?
Yeah, well, I'm still going through post-diagnosis grief, but I always have to explain what that phrase post-diagnosis grief means. It's not grief about being autistic. I'm not proud about being autistic, but I'm not upset about it either. I'm just completely neutral. I'm just autistic. It's just that's my brain, Like I'm right-handed, I'm 5'5". It's just these are just facts. I'm neutral about it. But if you're proud about being autistic, that's fine as well. Right? Don't get me wrong. Be proud. But yeah, post-diagnosis grief is not about me being upset about being autistic. It's the grief at not knowing much sooner and going 40 years without support recognition. If I'm lucky, I might live till I'm 70, 80. So I spent half my life not knowing who I am. That's hard. That's really, really hard. All those times when I just felt like I was a bad person, that I was a loser. I can't rewind the clock. I can't go back and say, hang on, don't worry, chill out. It's not you. You're just you're autistic in a world that's not made for you. It's not you. The world's not accommodating you. So chill out, man. But I can't go back to those times. I'm 42 now. And that's the grief. It's the years that I've spent not knowing who I am and feeling like a loser. And you might think, oh, this is first world problems. I'm in England, sixth richest country in the world. I've got, beautiful wife, two beautiful children. I've got it a lot easier than many, many other people. I get that. But, it doesn't change the fact that for decades I've felt like I don't fit in. And then the diagnosis. But even the self-recognition through watching many, many YouTube channels about autism, it doesn't change the grief. It wasn't a moment of victory like, yeah, I'm autistic. I just accepted it and wished I'd found out much sooner. And so the grief is about the lack of understanding, my lack of understanding about myself and everyone else's lack of understanding and appreciation. And now I'm just having fun with it. I'm making silly YouTube videos because I'm like, yeah, like I said earlier, it's my turn now. I've been people pleasing all these years. Now I'm going to have fun now. And if I can help one person understand autism or one person recognize that they're not broken, they're autistic, I've won. That's my job. That's my mission. Just one person. They could watch this interview and go, "Oh my word, I really connect with that." That's a lottery win. That's the victory. So yeah, the grief is not knowing sooner. The grief is the years and years of not being understood and appreciated. The grief is not about being autistic, because being autistic is not a bad thing. It's just a different thing.